Well, it's springtime in the Midwest, which means one thing. Uncovering the project car that I left on a trailer all winter under some tarps. And see how winter was to it and see if any rodents, any creatures found its way into it. Not that there's any wiring to eat. Wait. Yeah, there is. I'm Nick, and this is the Dohm Speed Shop. Now, on top of uncovering the Heeley, I'm going to be rolling onto the actual asphalt, which means the trailer's going to go over here somewhere, get that off the asphalt here. So, hook up the truck to the trailer, gonna pull that way, Heeley goes that way. Witchcraft. And since I'm doing this, it's a good time to check my trailer wiring. This thing doesn't have trailer brakes, but you know, make sure all the tail lights work. That one's a winner. Well, that one's a winner. We have trailer lights. Awesome. Now just to plate this thing. So the old 53 is uncovered. And winter was not as rough to it as I thought it would be. Old small block still happy. And not much worse off than when I left it last. In the previous video when I was moving. We're moving here. And now the fun part will be pulling it off the trailer. With that much room. Looks like a lot, it's not. This will be fun. Alright, so after spending a little bit of time getting the 53 off the trailer there, spent a little longer than I really should have. Do some unconventional methods that aren't really, we'll say, OSHA approved. Got the 53 off and got the front wheels swapped out. Some kind of boring stuff that wasn't worth videotaping, but just fell back on the ground and back to a point where I can work on it again. So I went ahead and swapped out the front wheels to some 14s off an MG I picked up a while ago. At least these tires hold air. Got the carburetor unstuck. So hopefully that doesn't give me any future issues. I'll take the float balls off, double check, pull some air through it, but I think that should be okay because it's been dry since I put it on there. Blew all the leaves out of it. Put the cover plate just sitting on there for a moment. Couldn't find the steering wheel, so vice grips are going to survive for right now. And we're going to go about switching those rear wheels off for the fun tires. Actually, you know what? I haven't opened up the trunk since I moved, so let's see what's in here. Okay, so the other side of my exhaust and the fuel cell. Okay. That's less junk than I thought. That's such a good view, though. Alright, next we're going to go ahead and take the Space Saver wheels off. Put the big race wheels on it. If it sounds like those lugs came off pretty easy, it's because they weren't really dug down. When I put these wheels on for the move, they're just on there tight enough for the move. So they serve their purpose. They came off. Now the good wheels go back on it. Brings back the stance of the car that we were looking for. Alright, so now that we got the wheel back on there, let's go ahead and run it down with the impact. I'm sure I'll check it later with a torque wrench. And for now, this will work. Alright, wheels on, let's drop the rear end, put it back on the ground. Now that's the stance we want. Alright, so probably the last thing we're going to do for today is put the fenders back on the rear here. Got some El Cheapo hardware from Harbor Freight. Gonna use to put the rear fenders back on and just kind of hang them there for now until we take them back off later on to put the trim on here. Probably 3 or 4 more times because I forgot something. Yeah, if you're not new to this channel, you know how this works. All right, let's go. All right, so we'll go about throwing about 4 bolts in this thing just for the time being. Right about there. Alright, so for right now, that's bolted on there. Take a wrench and tighten it up in a few minutes. And swing around, we're going to put the other one on real quick. Alright, so we're going to take this other fender here, see how she lines up. Oh, that's way better than the previous. If you've seen the previous videos on this, I had a 106 fender on here. If you're not hip to Austin Healey's, 106 is 6-cylinder, the 100s or 104s as they were later called. They were called 104s from the factory, but 104s, the wheelbase is a little shorter than 106. So the fenders, front and rear, fit a little different. You can modify the rears to fit 104 if you really want to. I was getting ready to, and then a gentleman on Marketplace sold me these on the front fender, or wings as Austin Healey calls them. British cars call them anyways. So I bought the body panels off gentleman, and we're gonna see how they fit now. The other side fit pretty well. I was surprised the bolt holes actually lined up. So that was good. And rear fender's hitting my tire, which means either my rear end shifted, which is entirely possible, or I need to modify my fender a little. Either way, not great. I'm going to try to bolt it up anyways. I actually like the idea of the bolt-on body panels like this. In theory. I actually thought about putting rib nuts in here. So pulling these on and off isn't the process we're currently seeing. But that's a down the road idea. Okay, there's first one on. Try at least get 2 more in here. I can pull one up here. I actually haven't touched this car in a little bit, so I'm kind of relearning where all the bolt holes are, which is, exciting. That's rubbing pretty bad. This may not go on today. That's why we're doing test fit today. And you get to see how far out these wheels sit from the fenders. So, I like the stance. I like how it looks. Going for that old school drag car look. That bolt's not going to go on there easy. Yeah, I'll have to see if the rear end shifted because it looks like it did. So I did have a problem with the previous fender rubbing at the rear of the tire as well. I was hoping it was just because it was a 106 fender, but survey says that was not the problem. Yeah, we're going to take this back off. At least that came off easier than it went on. Alright guys, I'm going to call it quits for this episode. Kind of just getting the car off the trailer today, blowing the leaves out of it, getting it back to where I can work on it again. And we pretty much did that today, switched the wheels out. Got so at least it's at least a roller again. So we'll see you guys on the next episode of Dohm Speed Shop. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.